Last time, Chloe hijacked the school broadcast and read explicit fanfiction about Marcus and his crew over every speaker on campus. Live to the entire school. This is part 3. And this is where the parents get involved. The 4 of them outside had already been intercepted by gym teachers who sprinted over. Pinned to the ground, they could only glare at her with pure, venomous hatred. The faculty advisor grabbed her by the collar and dragged her straight to the office. The dean of students grabbed her by the ear the second she walked in and started screaming. What was wrong with her brain today? Why she had to go on the broadcast and read that garbage out loud? She winced, teeth clenched in pain. But the stubborn anger in her chest refused to go anywhere. She screamed right back at him just as loudly. Marcus and his boys started it. She did nothing wrong. Right as she said that, Mr. Harris came through the door. Behind him, Marcus and the other 3 were brought in. The second Marcus saw her, he clenched his fists and lunged. The dean kicked him to the ground first. He asked what Marcus thought he was doing. He was so angry he smashed his tea mug on the floor. He asked what was wrong with the students from homeroom 6. If they had all completely lost their minds, every single one of them was acting like a rabid dog. Mr. Harris's eyes went dark. He took one deep breath, pointed at the wall, and told all of them to go stand over there. He demanded the absolute truth about what was going on. They glared at each other. Nobody wanted to be the first to speak. Silent standoff, staring each other down, nobody breaking first. Mr. Harris let out a cold laugh. He started clapping. He sarcastically called them a room full of heroes. He said he was going to do them a favor and handle this quietly in the office, but since they didn't want that respect, they weren't going to get it. He said they were marching right back to the classroom, where their classmates could spill every filthy detail of their drama. Piece by piece. He picked up his phone. He announced he was calling their parents down right now, so everyone could hear exactly what they came to school to do. The office went terrifyingly quiet, heads down, terrified to breathe. The only sound was Mr. Harris scrolling through his contacts. Then a shrill woman's voice shattered the silence. There you are. This is where you've been hiding. They looked up. A middle-aged woman with a tight perm, clacking in high heels, marched into the office. The elderly campus security guard chased after her, completely out of breath. Chloe recognized her immediately. Marcus's mom. The second she saw Chloe, she pointed directly at her face. She said she heard the broadcast the moment she walked onto campus. She asked if that shameless garbage over the speakers was read by her. She accused her of being the one who sent those filthy stories to her phone last night. She said she thought she was some kind of street hooker. She said she could not believe she was just a high school student. She said girls these days were getting more and more shameless. Someone this young, already doing such cheap, disgusting things. Spit flew from her mouth as she screamed, her sharp red acrylic nails practically stabbing at Chloe's face. Mr. Harris stepped directly in front of Chloe. He told her calmly to settle down. He said this was a dispute between students and the school would handle it. Marcus's mom shoved him aside with terrifying force. She shrieked that she could not calm down. She yelled that this little tramp wrote all that gutter trash about her son and read it out loud for the whole school to hear. She asked how her son was supposed to show his face now. She asked if Chloe was even human. She threatened to teach her a lesson today. The angrier she got, the further she went. She slapped Chloe hard across the face. The force sent Chloe stumbling backward, crashing into the side of an office desk. Her cheek was on fire. The teachers rushed in and grabbed the woman. They demanded to know how she could hit someone on school property, but she was completely unhinged, screaming even while being held back. She yelled that she was just helping Chloe's parents discipline her. She demanded to know what her son ever did to her. Chloe's ears were ringing. The humiliation rising in her chest hurt 100 times more than the slap. She grabbed the edge of the desk and pulled herself up. She yanked out her phone, pulled up the screenshots, and marched straight toward Marcus's mom. She shoved the screen directly into her face. She told her to look closely. This was exactly how Marcus offended her. She asked if she was the cheap and shameless one. She said she learned everything from her precious baby boy. She turned and pointed at Marcus. She told the room he and his crew faked chat logs and posted them online. They told everyone she was going to hotels with random men, that she was working the streets. They spread those rumors so far that even kids at neighboring schools had heard about it. She asked Marcus's mom if she had any idea what those few days were like for her, if she knew how her classmates talked about her, if she knew what kind of smug look Marcus wore while he dragged her name through the mud. She asked why he could do it, but she couldn't. She said she wanted him to taste exactly what it felt like. He got exactly what he deserved. Marcus's mom went quiet for a moment. But Chloe wasn't done. She asked the woman directly, did she ever do anything to her son? Why did he decide out of nowhere to use a method like that to target her? Who raised him? How did he turn out like this? She said only a woman like her could raise a shameless little psychopath like him. She was getting more and more wound up. She grabbed a paperweight off the desk and hurled it at Marcus. She ordered him to stop playing deaf and dumb. She demanded he tell his mother right now what she ever did to offend him. Under the stares of everyone in the room, Marcus went bright red. He stuttered. Not a single word came out. She spat in his face. She called him a pathetic coward who wouldn't own his actions. She said that was exactly why she turned him down. She gave him a clean, polite rejection, and he chose to push her anyway. Now she was famous, and so was he. She asked if ending up here, at rock bottom, made him satisfied. She told him to grab his crazy mother and get out of her sight. Marcus's mom lunged forward again. She shrieked that if she hadn't done anything, nobody could have made it up. She said she must have been dirty to begin with. She said whatever Chloe made up about Marcus was stuff he actually did. She told her to look at them, acting like tight brothers on the surface. She said she had no idea what they actually did behind closed doors. She claimed she literally saw the four of them with her own eyes, in the equipment room, holding each other and making out. Chloe looked at this woman, completely unhinged with rage, and threw in one last strike. She told her, clearly and directly, that her son was gay, her son was queer, and even after dropping that, she was still burning. She sprinted to the office window, shoved it open, and screamed it across the entire campus. Marcus was gay. A complete degenerate getting passed around by his three best friends. Marcus's mom let out an ear-splitting shriek and charged forward. Chloe charged right back. She grabbed the woman's hair with both hands and thrashed her around violently. She screamed that her own parents had never hit her, not once in her entire life. She asked who gave this woman the right. The teachers lost their minds and rushed in. In a flurry of limbs, they finally ripped them apart. When the dust settled, two massive gym teachers were holding their thrashing bodies at opposite ends of the room. Marcus's mom's perm was an absolute disaster. On her left cheek was a perfect, bright red set of bite marks. Chloe had managed to sink her teeth in during the chaos. The woman was still baring her teeth. Mr. Harris grabbed her and told her it was enough. He asked how she could bully a teenage girl and have no conscience. He told her she had trespassed on school grounds illegally and assaulted a student. He told her she had better leave before they called the cops. She told him to go ahead and call them. He reminded her, very slowly, that Chloe was a minor, a year younger than her own son. She walked in and assaulted her unprovoked. He asked if she really expected her not to fight back. He said if the cops came right now, she was the one getting arrested. She threatened to report him. He told her to go ahead. The dean had been holding his temper together by a thread. The thread snapped. He reminded her that high school was not mandatory public service. Nobody begged her to send her son there. He said her son's grades looked like absolute garbage, and he only got in because she paid the out-of-district fee. He said he would be thrilled if he left. He told her to take her son and get out of his school. He said he was 2 years from retirement and he was not scared of her. Marcus's mom flinched. She tried to say something else, but a completely red-faced Marcus grabbed her arm. He begged her to stop. He just asked her to go home. His voice finally gave her a way out. She let out a few hollow, threatening scoffs, rolled her eyes, and walked out. Mr. Harris and the dean sat down on the couch. They smoked in silence, 5 cigarettes each. When the anger finally cooled and Marcus's mom was gone, the kids stopped acting tough too. One by one, they told the whole story. The 2 teachers had been working for over 20 years. It was the first time they had ever heard anything like this. After a long silence, Mr. Harris spoke. He said he might be getting old, but he wasn't a dinosaur. He understood that teenagers had thoughts about dating, as long as it didn't go too far or affect their grades. He didn't normally act like a prison guard. He paused and looked directly at Marcus. He said no matter how much someone claimed to like another person, the baseline was that it had to be mutual. Endlessly harassing someone was pathetic. She didn't want it. He held a grudge. He made up filthy rumors to destroy her reputation. He said that was no different from being a predator. He said they were lucky they lived in better times. Back in his day, doing what they did would have gotten them charged with hooliganism. Nobody would be wasting breath in an office. They'd lock them up for a few days, then drag them out back and shoot them. The four of them stared at the floor. He told them they loved talking through his lectures, never did their homework, and their test scores were aggressively mediocre. He usually let it go, as long as they didn't cause trouble. But clearly they were all quite capable. They had stirred up a disaster. He said, if they had put even 1% of this energy into studying, their grades wouldn't look like that. The dean leaned forward to finish the job. He said their minds were entirely spent on degenerate nonsense. There was obviously no room left for studying. He suggested they might as well drop out, find someone to marry, and have a kid. At least they wouldn't be wasting the prime years of their lives. Then he turned to Chloe. He told her she did brilliant work. He sarcastically said it was great that the whole school now knew their famous author and her stellar reputation. He called her an absolute idiot. She ran into a problem and didn't tell a teacher. She snuck around and blew this up into a disaster. He told her to look where it got her. She got slapped across the face by a crazy woman over total nonsense. He said he had never dealt with anything like this in his life. He thanked her for broadening his horizons. For the entire afternoon, they sat there and listened to the two teachers bounce off each other, casually destroying them from every angle. They went through everyone's phones. Every fake rumor from both sides permanently deleted. Phones returned. Then the disciplinary actions came down. Chloe, distributing explicit material, disrupting school discipline, 1 formal reprimand on her permanent record, a 2,000-word reflection essay, Marcus, Dylan, Josh Tyler, attempting an inappropriate relationship, harassing a female student, distributing explicit slanderous rumors, instigating a fight, 1 major disciplinary infraction each, a 3,000-word reflection essay. All 5 of them had to stand at morning assembly and during homeroom to read their essays out loud. Given that she had cranked out 70 or 80,000 words over the past few days, a reflection essay was practically a warm-up. On Monday morning, they walked up to the podium one by one, heads down, and read their apologies. Then during homeroom, after Mr. Harris yelled at them again, they read them a second time in front of the entire class. After over a decade of school, she finally understood what total humiliation felt like, but she had dragged the 4 of them down to be humiliated right alongside her. Mutual destruction was better than suffering alone. Thinking about how they had all spent the past few days becoming absolute legends, the punchline of every joke in the school, it made her feel a whole lot better. After that day, the school added 3 new rules to the handbook. Rule 58. Students are forbidden from spreading false information online. Rule 59. Students are forbidden from publishing explicit material online. Rule 60. When a student is hosting a campus broadcast segment, a faculty monitor must be present at all times. The school also hired new security. Instead of 1 elderly guard, there were now ex-cops at the gates with tasers and tactical belts, running actual perimeter drills. They looked like they could stop a real fight now. As the weeks passed, the rumors about Chloe slowly faded from memory. Her life gradually returned to normal. But the rumors about Marcus's 4-man squad, permanently ignited by that one fateful broadcast, had cemented themselves into school lore. Through endless gossip and speculation, the idea that their relationship was not quite normal slowly became accepted fact in everyone's minds. Under the constant, judgmental stares of the entire student body, they stopped hanging out the way they used to. The so-called Iron Brotherhood quietly dissolved. 1 semester later, all 4 of them transferred out, scattered to different schools across the city. The gossip eventually faded too, and her life was finally genuinely peaceful. It was nice.